Hello everybody, here we're going to be changing the brakes and brake rotor on a Nissan Murano 2006 model. First of all, what you have to do is jack the car up and make sure that you have a jack stand underneath it in case the hydraulic jack fails. Next, loosen the lug nuts. You can either use a breaker bar like this, which is pretty easy, or you can use an impact driver, which is even easier. Once all your lug nuts have been removed, you can remove the wheel and tire. Alright, next step, you've got two 14mm bolts on the back side. We're going to loosen both of those. We're actually going to remove both of those.
One on top, one on the bottom.
The next step is to take the brake pads out. For this, you can use your hands, front and the back. After that, we are going to take these two bolts off, this guy right here, and there's another one down on the bottom. For that, we'll use a size 19 socket. Once you have those two bolts removed, this assembly will come off and you'll be able to change these little clips right here. So when I bought the new brake pads, it came with these little clips, so we will replace those now. All you gotta do is pop these little guys out right here. Make a note of how they go back in. Take your replacements and they simply press in. That's all there is to that. Now we'll do the other side. Pop these guys out. Pop the new ones in. Make sure you get them fully seated so your brake pads go in nice and smooth. Now to take the rotor off, all we have to do at this point is just pull it off. The new rotor purchased is right here. What we need to do first before putting it on is wipe it down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol to remove any residue, and then just put it back on. Put a couple of lug nuts on just to keep the rotor in place while we reinstall the caliper bracket. Orient the bracket the correct way and reinstall your two bolts, one on the top and one on the bottom. Ensure that you reinstall your brake pads in the correct way. There should be a left and a right side. So it's helpful if you lay your old brake pads out the way they came off the vehicle, so when you put the new ones on, you know exactly how they go. What we're going to do now is we're going to squeeze a little bit of this brake lube on the back of the pad to prevent squealing. Make sure you get enough on there, smear it around. Do that for both sides. These clip right in fairly easily. Push them all the way on. repeat the process for the back side. Now that they're both on, we can go ahead and compress the caliper so we can reinstall it onto our bracket. So what we can do for that is use one of the old brake pads and a C-clamp. All you have to do is compress this piston so you can slide it over the new brake pads. We do this because the new brake pads will be thicker than the old ones. Squeeze it together. That should do it. Now we're ready to install the caliper.
And press in on this to get it to fit. We'll put the top screw in. And do the same for the bottom.
Nice and snug. All right. Take your lug nuts. It's time to reinstall the tire. Line up your lug nut holes and screw everything back together. Lower the car off the jack stands. Make sure everything's clear and take it for a test drive.